thank you so much for joining us here today at Green Assistant Radio on your community radio station, Asheville FM. Programming support is brought to you by Compost AVL. They are a woman-owned business that offers local curbside compost service to their members throughout Asheville. They pick up the filled bins and drop off a clean one, and they also deliver finished compost to their members. More info at compostavl.com. And we are here today at Green Assistant Radio talking about clothing and clothing donations. I've already gotten into, why the big thrifting system is not actually serving, anyone but the big thrifting system in the long run. And so now that I've kind of said what not to do, I really want to focus more on what can we do. Now that we know this information, what can we do instead? And that is where my guest comes in. I would like to welcome Jasmine Sherman, who is the Executive Director of Greater Charlotte Rise. Thank you so much for being here today, Jasmine.
Thank you so much for having me. This is so cool.
So Jasmine is focused in Charlotte, which all of y'all know. I was there for 15 years, so it's what I know the best. And so Jasmine actually reached out to me recently because we've worked together many times in the past, doing a lot of food rescue and redistribution, and also working with clothing. But really, I'd love for you, Jasmine, to introduce what you do with that, or what your organization does, as well as who you're serving within the community.
Thank you so much. So Greater Charlotte Rise is a mutual aid. We serve anybody and everybody within our county limits. Our predominant focus is on the houseless, though. But if you are a housed person that needs assistance with rent, electricity, water, utilities, or clothing, we will still help you too. But we do try to focus on the most marginalized within our community. And a lot of times those needs come from clothing, temporary shelter, food, that we do it all. There's very rarely a situation where someone has said, I can't find it on your website, and we've still turned them away. We will email us. We will get in there and help you however we can, if we can.
And y'all actually do so much more than that, because while you're out in the community face to face with people, which, I got to admit is not my comfort zone, right? I like to work behind the scenes. I like to do the collecting and the sharing and the marketing, right? I'm not good at doing in the community stuff. And so while you're out there doing that, being on the front lines, you also are making sure that, if people need showers, they're getting to rides to the truck stops where they have full service shower areas, right? Like, it's thinking outside the box, because you can't always get somebody in a house or even a hotel room. Sometimes that stuff's expensive.
It is.
Then,
I remember some instances where I've had to call personal friends and be like, hey, can we borrow your shower? And just get people to wait inside and outside. We are a very by hook or crook organization. It's people first, and I have found that humanity is what gets us through. Just reaching out to people. We make it harder than we think it is. If you have the interest in helping, there is some way you can help. We have a spot for all personalities.
And that's actually a really big opportunity we have right here. And that's because we at Green Assistant Radio are teaming up with Greater Charlotte Rise, and we are hosting a warming supply drive. And so this is to serve people in the community in Charlotte, as well as the opportunity to share these goods with the organizations and people directly here in Asheville. And so, Jasmine, when you reached out to me, it was really kind of a plea of, hey, our resources have been exhausted. There were snowstorms. It's been raining. What is it that you need right now from us in the community?
Any warming supplies that you have. I would like to say that we've pretty much, Charlotte, because we weren't prepared for the snow and the cold, like our Walmarts, our Targets, they didn't have any warming supplies on the shelf. If you have any blankets that you can, the heavier, the better. Because, and I know people are like, well, how will they transport them? Because cleanliness is such an issue. We have a high turnover of blankets because, if they're not, people aren't washing, they're in spaces that aren't clean. So blankets are a very big thing. We also need hand warmers. Like there are these little packs that you put between your hands, and you probably use them at football games or outdoor sporting events. But those are great for people that are in the elements. Big hats, big coats. I mean, if you've got it and it's in good condition, and I mean like in good condition that you would want your children to wear or use, or good condition you'd want your grandma and grandpa to have, like true good condition. And I say it like that because as humans, we're often like, well, this is a little beat up, but it's good enough for me. And usually we have higher standards for people that we love. So any donations that you give, please do it as if you were doing it for someone that you knew and you loved and respected.
That's right. Really putting the love into it and preparing it. And, that brings back the making sure that these clothes are freshly laundered before you give them away. If we have the ability to put the energy into this stuff, let's do it. Let's feed the love into it as we're sending it out the door to share love with other people in the form of warming supplies. So we are actually going to be hosting our first collection point right here at your community radio station, Asheville FM. And it is going to be on Saturday, February 12th from noon to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's going to be right here at Asheville FM. On Haywood Road. I'm sorry, I don't even have the address in front of me. I feel a fool. But you can find out all information about that at greenassistantradio.com. And we are going to have an actual page up of exactly what it is that we are accepting, including warm boots, jeans, long sleeve t-shirts, coats, ponchos, umbrellas, rain jackets, thermals. That's a great one.
Big, heavy socks. The bigger, the thicker, the warmer. If your appendages are cold, your body's cold. Heavy gloves.
Right. And, I'm not talking about like one sock or socks that you wouldn't wear anymore. I'm talking about if you're buying yourself a new pack of socks, go ahead and buy another pack of socks and donate those, right? If you have some socks that are lightly, worn, those are cool. Wash them and match them up so that they're ready to go out the door. Because if we have to slow down and launder these clothes before they go out, that means days of people not having these high value resources that they so desperately need. And so, Jasmine, regarding what it is that you need in the Charlotte area, as well as how people can support you, I know you have a wish list of items that are direct requests from the community, as well as a wish list where people can buy it and ship it directly to you. So where can they find all of that information for your organization?
On greatercharlotterise.org. All of that information is there. If you by any chance don't see that link, please email me. I will send it to you directly. I have no problem putting the work in if you're trying to help for us.
That is fantastic. And again, our first clothing drive, our first collection point is going to be on Saturday, February 12th at Asheville FM from 12 to 2 at 864 Haywood Road in West Asheville. But we're not accepting everything. I'm not going to lie. Y'all have heard what I think about just putting all your junk in a bag and donating it. This is intentional donation. This is where we really are going to put the love into it and send it out into the community so that it can do the most good. Put your energy where it does the most good. And I'll tell you what, putting energy into serving Greater Charlotte Rise and other organizations that are on the ground, face to face with people in the community, they are the ones who know what the community needs. So thank you so much, Jasmine, for being here with me today. Anything else that you would like to share? Maybe your website of how people can follow your run in the next couple of years?
Oh, yeah, I forgot all about that, ironically. I am also running for president in 2024. I have seen what it looks like on the local level. I have worked within my community, and it is time for someone who has a real understanding. If you are interested in learning more about my presidential campaign, it is at jasminesherman2024.com.
So if you are interested in participating, this is your chance. We're making it easy for you right here, greenassistantradio.com. We are also willing to host a Zoom meeting for people who are interested in collecting clothing within their own personal communities. Maybe you live in an apartment complex or at your office where you know that people have some extra wares and goods at home. It's time to let go of those things now instead of waiting until the end of winter. People need it now. Go ahead, let it go. Recognize that you've got a warm place to stay. You've got a way to wash your clothes. So the ones that you're not wearing that are still good, wash them up and get them to us. greenassistantradio.com for all the details. And you can contact Greater Charlotte Rise directly at greatercharlotterise.org. And coming up next is live transmission with Kat. So stick around, get some good grooves in, and we're going to send you out of here with a little Bill Withers, Do It Good, because if we're going to do it, let's do it good. Until next time, my friends.